Okay, welcome back everyone. This tutorial video will be going over one of the most important things in SRPG Studio, which is going to be variables and switches. I guess that's two things. So, how do we get to those and why are they important? Variables allow you to create events. Uh, they allow you to create spells. They allow you to change from map to map. They remember the positions of units on the map. Many different things. If you watched my first video, in order to move from one map to the other and remember where a character should start on each map, you have to give it an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. And let's say you start at, or you're entering a temple. At that temple, you need to know where the entrance is. So you're going to find on the map, if you look in the bottom right down here, in the bottom right it says position 1711. If I were to be entering this area on a boat, I might want to remember 197. And when I enter this map, it's going to open the map, and then you will want to start your character out at 197 as the 19 as the X coordinate, 7 as the Y coordinate. Okay, so where do we go to variables? Variables are shown right here where it's VA. We're going to click on that, and I have a few variables already created. If you want to create a variable, you just go down to create variable. You go up here to new variable, and that's where you can name it. So I'll call this X3, and we'll create one more and call it Y3. I generally have up to 20 created, so X1 through X20, Y1 through Y20. You can create that if you want. I'm just going to show you some of the basic things I like to have in here. So for number 1, I like to have my positions. Now over here and under ID variable, I like to have many unit ID variables up to 20. Right now I have 1 and 2. I'll create another one, call it unit ID 3. I like Roman numerals for those. Okay, I believe in number 4, I like to have each stat. So 0 will be HP. Let's go with strength, magic. I forget what it actually looks like. Let's go to database. We got strength, magic, skill, speed, luck, defense, resistance. Skill, speed, luck, defense, resistance. Okay, skill, speed, luck. Skill, speed, luck, defense, resistance. I'll create one more for move, and one more for level. Okay, now I'm going to copy and paste those, and I'm going to put an E in front of each. That's going to stand for enemy. A lot of the times I just stick with the normal ones, and I don't call out an enemy specifically. Now you can change the default values to 1, and you have minimum values, maximum values. There's a group name? I don't know what those do. In case I didn't show it on a previous menu, you want to go to options and make sure this thing is checked. ID variables can be used in unit and item event dialog. It's very helpful if I remember what that does exactly. Okay, so now I have some basic variables. I forget what I keep in 5, but we'll figure that out as we go. Oh, that's how I store the amount of uses each ability can use. Okay, now I just want to introduce you to switches. Now we have local and global switches. So what's the difference between local and global switches? Well, first, what is a switch? This is just a thing where you can say something is on or something is off. So we can call this enemy attack. And these switches always default to being off initially. So let's say I had this map, and I'm going to go into unit mode. Each of these guys are on approach. I can do something where you click here and he will approach, but only when he is in range of you. So he has 6 movement and then 1 space he can attack. So across 7 spaces is the distance that he was willing to move without. He'll approach you if you are within 7 spaces. Otherwise, he's not going to move. And I can do that for all these guys. Range only, range only, range only, range only. Okay, everyone is range only. So I want to show you what that does. Let's see. So I got my guy up there. So this guy has that kind of range. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought he has more movement than that. He has 6 movement. Oh, he can't go past me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can attack there. I'm going to move him right here and end my turn. He should not be able to come and attack me. See, he just stayed there. If I move right here, I am now within his range and he can attack me. Okay? So I want to show you what happens if I create a quick event. I'm going to go to auto events, and we already have a victory condition. I'm going to create a new event. I want to call this enemy attack. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say enable turn. I'm going to turn. That means this event is going to trigger on a certain turn. So if the turn is equal to, we'll say 3, this event will happen. And the turn is going to be the player's turn. You can make it the enemy's turn or the ally's turn. I don't know what treat as relative turn means, but that's what we're going to use for this. 3 is equal to player. So on the player's 3rd turn, this will happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new event, and I'm going to go here under, so we're in the event tab, and we're going to go down here to change switches. And now we have enemy attack in our local switches. I want to turn that to on. Okay? So now on turn 3, enemy attack turns on. I always like to end my events by having one that says, oh, whoops, that's not that. I want to go change event state, enemy attack. You either can do executed or free. Executed means this happened and it won't happen again. If you have it to free, that means this can keep happening. Just in general, I like to put executed at the end or free at the end, depending on which situation I want it to be. Okay, so enemy attack is on player 3, but that switch doesn't actually do anything yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go to each one of our characters, and we're going to go down here to where it says page 1. I'm going to add a page. So initially, there's no condition, so if there's no condition being fulfilled, this character will approach in range only. But I'm going to create a second condition. I'm going to go to page 2. Now, if enemy attack is on, this character's behavior is going to change. When enemy attack is on, he's not going to be just range only. He's just going to be on approach. So whenever enemy attack is on, he's going to be charging you. I'm going to do that for multiple characters. Page 2, enemy attack on. Just do this on the rest of them. Okay, enemy attack on. You'll find that if you're making a game in this engine, you will be repeating many tasks, which is fine, as long as I get to do what I want it to do. Okay, so everyone's on page 2. So once again, page 1, there's nothing. If nothing is happening, we're going to go to range only and approach. But if enemy attack is turned on, this now triggers and we'll go to approach. So make sure you hit OK. You can hit apply, but make sure you hit OK to confirm that. And now let's test it out. So we will do a map test. So we were going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll go right here and end our turn. Nothing is happening. You can even look, switches, enemy attack is off if you were to click there. So now we are on turn 2, nothing is happening. So our trigger happens on the 3rd player phase. So right now they're still not going to attack, but now we started our 3rd player phase. So now the switch should be turned on, which is now on. Okay? Which means these guys should all start approaching even if I am out of range. And there you have it. So that is a use for a switch. You can do something with the variable. If you want to use change variable, I'll show you where that is. So if you want to change a variable on turn 3, you can go here to change variable, and you can just have a variable created. You can call it enemy attack, and it can start at 0, and then you just switch it to 1, and then you can make it so whenever, hold on, let me close out of this, let me delete that, and just kind of the same way, instead of enemy attack, you can go here to variable. You can say x1 is equal to 1, and that'll work the same thing. Work the same way as using a switch. So now the condition is if x1 is equal to 1. But I'm going to get rid of that because I just want it to be my switch. Switches are just much more simple. It's either yes or no with a switch. Variables can change completely, and you can do so many more things with them. But if you want to have a nice simple turn on, turn off type of thing, you can go to a switch. Now, what if we were to somehow retreat from this map and then go back in? Well, with that, you might want to, at the opening of your map, you might want an event. So this is an opening events tab. This will trigger when your map starts. Before anything happens, these events will happen before your map starts. So I like to have one that says set switches / variables, something like that. Oh, I can't have that. I'll just keep it as set variables, but we'll know that that includes switches. So we don't need a condition because this is going to happen as the map opens, and we can do change switches back to off. So whenever this map opens, enemy attack will start as off. Okay. For my type of game, I have it so you can retreat and come back to maps. So that's why I just like to have that at the beginning of each of my maps, where I set certain variables back to their default conditions. So triggers will keep happening when you come back to the maps. Okay, I think that's enough for this video. We covered variables, at least how to create them, and we went to switches, which are basically like variables, but just on two conditions, on and off. And you got to see what a switch can do in terms of your map. Okay. Thank you very much. Hopefully this helps you guys. And I'll see you in the next video.